Ba 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 boing. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Holderhek here. Like I said in my post the other day, I am without my computer, without my editing software, traveling overseas without my mic, and I'm still making this video for you guys because that is how dedicated I am to this channel and to the information that you need to have. I really hoped you also liked my rendition of the theme song. That I feel like it has top 10 potential. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the loot you're gonna get from Dire Maul versus what you would have already acquired. What that changes about our statistics and loot table and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna go into like where I think we should be, because there's, you know, what you can get pre-raid, and then there's what you can feasibly get. I feel like most of us are in Molten Core right now. If you haven't cleared Molten Core right now, maybe you're, you know, killing quite a few bosses. So pre-raid, I think, is not necessarily a focus we need to focus on, but I'm gonna talk about that too. Anyway, let's get into the video, let's talk about Dire Maul, and let's talk about the loot that you can steal from everybody else. Before, when I made my other video for pre-raid, I told you to get the Devil Source set. And the Devil Source set is still useful, but I feel like if we're going for absolute min-max, if you're using Nature's Guidance, 3-piece Black Dragon Scale, as you can see here, gives you a ton of benefits over 2-piece Devil Sword. So if you're gonna use Nature's Guidance, I would say go with Black Dragon Scale. If you're gonna use Elemental Devastation, you're gonna need way more hit, so you're probably gonna use Devil Sword. But that's just a minor thing. Let's get into the loot from Dire Maul. Most of this stuff is going to stay the same from your pre-raid gearing from before. There's a couple key pieces that are different, and I'm gonna go over them. Now, we have access to Bracers of the Eclipse, which are really nice. The 10 agility on these outweighs the 7 intellect and a couple extra attack power you get from the Bracers of the Stone Princess. Let's see if I can show you those, if this computer can actually handle loading things right now. Nope, it can't. So, just go with my word on it, right? I'm gonna have these linked in the description of the video. So, Bracers of the Eclipse, slightly better than Bracers of the Stone Princess. You're gonna be going with 2 Tarnished Elven Rings. You're gonna get 3/4 of a crit and 1 hit. So just from these 2 rings and your 3-piece Black Dragon Scale, you have enough hit if you are an orc with an axe and Nature's Guidance to be hit capped. So that's great, right? So then we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room, and that's going to be the Treant's Bane. This is what most people wanted me to make a video about anyway. In my opinion, the Treant's Bane is a fantastic axe. This thing would replace the Brain Hacker for like a super dark horse pre-raid BiS pick. It's fast, its stats are fantastic, and it just synergizes very well with our class. Now, the issue with Treant's Bane is it is a minuscule drop chance off of the tribute chest. So you could be running tribute forever and never see this thing. But if you can get your hands on it, it is a fantastic weapon that I would keep for a long time, just due to, well, A, how good it looks, and B, the fact that it is a good two-hander that is actually fast. And with how fast stuff dies and how geared everybody is, it's really good to have a backup weapon that is fast so you can actually hit the thing before it dies. Okay? And I'll include all your enchants and what enchants you should have and where stuff drops. With the link in the bottom of the video. I still think strength is better than 1% haste. Is that even available right now? I've heard a lot of people talk about adding 1% haste to these things. Yeah, rapidity. I haven't done the math on that, but I could tell you right now, having like way the hell more attack power is better than swinging the thing 2% faster. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, but let's just assume that I'm not. Okay? Moving on, I just want to compare your pre-raid with Dire Maul versus your pre-raid without Dire Maul. You basically end up getting 2% more crit and a little bit less attack power, but that's because, you know, you were using Devil Sword before, and a little bit less mana. So, you know, it's not that big of a difference, but it's a big enough of a difference. Plus your axe looks way better. Then I wanted to go into Dire Maul. If you were doing Elemental Devastation, you'll see that we've swapped to Devil Sword here. Only have one Tarnished Elven Ring, though you could have two to get more hit. And True Strike Shoulders to bump you up to 6, which is what you're gonna need with an axe without, you know, Nature's Guidance, right? Now, all of that being said, what I wanted to kind of talk about was, are we really pre-raid at this point? Like, are any of us pre-raid? Like, I feel like I've been clearing Molten Core personally since, like, 2.5, 3 weeks. It was like 2.5, whatever. 2.5 weeks into Classic, we've been clearing Molten Core and Onyxia. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that because none of us are, like, super crazy tryhards, that most of you are at least in Molten Core with some Molten Core gear. So what I want to do is kind of go into what I would like us to be at in this 1.5 version of the game with Molten Core loot. And what you're going to see here now, and again, I'll link this in the bottom of the video, is going to be the gear you should have going into Dire Maul in an absolute perfect world, perfect scenario. We have our 3-piece Black Dragon Scale, we have a Quick Strike Ring, we have Wrist Guards of True Flight, we have the Crown of Destruction, we got the Head from Onyxia, we got Blood Mail here and here. Again, I like keeping mana above 3,000. It makes things a hell of a lot easier for you. And of course, we have somehow managed to become a Reaper Boy and get a Spinal Reaper. Now, what you will notice is that there is absolutely no loot from Dire Maul in this optimal setup using Nature's Guidance. That's because a lot of the stuff from Dire Maul isn't actually as good as Devil Sword or Black Dragon Scale or any of the other stuff you could get before. It's good if you don't have that stuff already. But if you can get a hold of Molten Core loot and craft yourself a set of Devil Sword or Black Dragon Scale, you don't need anything from Dire Maul. Tarnished Elven Rings are probably the best thing from there, as well as Treant's Bane, but even Treant's Bane, with its fast attack speed and its 2% crit, does not beat 74.7 DPS on the Spinal Reaper, okay? It just doesn't. As much as I would love it to, it just doesn't. Which one is going to be easier for you to acquire? I don't know. Can you run Tribute endlessly till the end of time to possibly get a Treant's Bane? Or can you kill Ragnaros and somehow charisma your way into getting a Spinal Reaper? I think either one is going to be difficult, but if we're talking optimal, then you got to get yourself a Spinal Reaper. Now, this is your Nature's Guidance set within that 1.5 whatever situation we're in right now. And then if you switch to Elemental Devastation, if it loads, it does load. You'd have, you know, 6% hit, and then we have somehow also managed to steal a band of Acura, I don't know, call it an Acura TLX. Band of Acura here, and even that you can swap that out for, let's say you want to be nice, right? Let's say you want to be nice and you don't want to take this from rogues. Let's put a single piece of Dire Maul loot in here, okay? Tarnished Elven Ring, and then you can swap Savage Gladiator for the Blood Mail boots, and it only makes your stats like a little bit worse. And you could do that and not completely dick over every single rogue in your guild, right? You could do that. That would be fine. But that's kind of the moral of the story, guys, is we don't actually need anything from Dire Maul. Unless we are somehow not setting foot into a single raid yet. If we have not set foot into a raid at all, Bracers of the Eclipse and Tarnished Elven Rings are super nice. Otherwise, you have other options, you have better options, and you should take them. Now, that's going to be it for the video, guys. That's going to be it for gearing from Dire Maul. Still run Dire Maul. It's still really good. You're still going to want to farm money there. You're still going to want to farm lashers there. I'm gonna do my best to try to come out with a money farming guide, gold farming guide for Shaman, because at the end of the day, we are not mages, we are not warlocks, we are not hunters, we can't solo Maradon, we can't AoE farm Zul'Farrak, but we do need to find a way to make money that is somehow competitive with these other gold farming guides, because there are mages out there with more money than God right now, and it is very frustrating. So I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to find us a viable money farm, and as soon as I figure that out, I'm going to give the information to you. Now, that's going to be the end of this video. I truly hope that it recorded correctly and I don't sound garbled like a robot. It's probably going to take me the next 48 hours to actually upload this thing because my upload speed is literally 1.3 megabytes. So, if and when this thing actually gets uploaded and released, I hope it's super useful for you. I can't add any graphics to this thing because I don't have those graphics and I can't download them. So, yeah. You guys, please subscribe. Please hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/theholderhek. I will not be streaming for the next week and a half because I don't have the ability to. If you watch that intro video took me 45 minutes to create because I run at 7 FPS. So yeah, I obviously can't stream right now, but I will stream as soon as I get back to the States. You guys have a great rest of your day, week. Enjoy Dire Maul. It's a very fun instance. And hit me up on Discord and in-game. I will talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.